Welcome to Stupidly Long Video Game Battles. Tonight's battle promises to be long, pointless, and stupid as we put our own special spin on Super Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm Tom, coming to you right from the heart of Ontario, Canada, here in this stupid dome. Hi, I'm also Tom. Tonight, folks, we're watching an 8-player tournament with 8 AI-controlled players, with the difficulty setting lowered all the way to the bottom to ensure that all 8 players are as incompetent as they possibly can be. But that's not all. That's not nearly stupid enough.
That's right, Tom.
Normally, a single round of Super Street Fighter 2 has a time limit of 99 seconds, and most matches are determined long before that. However, we've disabled the timer, so that theoretically a match could last until the heat death of the universe. On top of that, we've also input a Game Genie code, so that all fighters are invulnerable to any kind of attack except for grapple and throw moves.
That's right, other Tom.
That means that any move that is not a hold or a throw, whether it be a punch, a kick, or a fireball made entirely out of yoga, none of them will damage the other player whatsoever. And because they're all computer controlled, it's highly unlikely any of our fighters will even understand this rule that would quickly become blindingly obvious to any human player. So we're sure to see a multitude of attacks that will serve only to waste our precious time on this planet. And speaking of our fighters, let's take a look at the competitors we have with us tonight. First, weighing in at a frightening 252 pounds, a professional boxer from the United States of America, Balrog. From Spain, weighing in at 208 pounds, a Shadaloo agent and master of Spanish ninjutsu, Vega. From Japan, weighing in at a massive 304 pounds, a Grandmaster sumo wrestler, Edmund E. Honda. And from the land of the rising sun, with all the exact same stats, it's Honda again. From Thailand, at a towering 7'4", weighing 283 pounds, the Emperor of Muay Thai, Sagat. Also from Thailand, weighing a hefty 254 pounds, leader and founder of the Shadaloo criminal organization, Bison. From Spain, weighing 208 pounds, a Shadaloo agent and master of Spanish ninjutsu, it's Vega again. And finally, Ken. Unfortunately, Zangief is not in our lineup this evening, so if you were expecting everyone's favorite 400-pound Russian in a mankini to make short work of this exercise with his famous pile drivers, there's no way we could ever be so lucky. Well, Tom, it looks like Vega and Balrog are gearing up for their first match. Let's take a look.
Balrog versus Vega, Hong Kong.
What a gorgeous day. The Hong Kong air is thick with animal smell as these two worthy opponents square up for the first battle. I think those animals are just statues, Tom. Excuse me for being colorful. Balrog opens with some uppercuts, Vega responding with his signature claw and a kick. And now dive attacks. It's clear neither of these combatants has figured out that they can't actually hurt each other this way. This is already a terrible sign of things to come, and the 9 matches we'll all be forced to watch tonight. Balrog charging repeatedly with dash attacks, while Vega leaps around the stage like a trapjaw ant. This could last a while, Tom. Balrog looks incredibly frustrated with his opponent himself and the torturous prison that is this game. Vega coming in with a roll attack. Still no meaningful... Oh! Vega with a suplex! At 39 seconds in, finally one of our champions has done some actual damage. Balrog's not looking too good out there, Tom. That's right, Tom. He took almost a fifth of his health bar, meaning 5, maybe 6 of those suplexes may be the end for him. If Vega could be bothered to remember to do that. Not anytime soon, Tom. Vega appears more interested in just using his same tired and impotent claw attacks again and again. Unfortunately for our American heavyweight, Balrog remains at a bit of a disadvantage here. A lifetime of training in boxing has left him with little in his repertoire in the way of grapples and holds. He's really struggling tonight, Tom. As Vega scores suplex after suplex, Balrog has still failed to manage even a single throw. Oh, bam! And finally, after 6 suplexes, Vega wins the first bout at 1 minute and 36 seconds. With Balrog failing to get any damage whatsoever, that marks a perfect victory for Vega. Perfect being an interesting choice of words considering the ineffectual flailing around that Vega's been making for over 90% of this battle.
That's right, Tom.
That's right, Tom. That's right. Next up, Honda versus Honda.
Honda versus Honda, Mexico.
As both of our combatants are expert sumo wrestlers, we can hopefully expect to see a lot more grappling this time around. But one thing's for sure, this is going to be an interesting battle. I can think of no two opponents who are more evenly matched. Not a large turnout for this event, Tom. Not at all, Tom. It looks like they never bothered telling anyone they were going to have an epic beatdown in the middle of this Mexican desert, and only a few locals have shown up. And they've come out of the gate swinging. Right off the bat, neither of our seasoned fighters wants anything to do with grappling, instead relying on flying headbutts and furiously fast palm slams. For some reason, both Hondas are purposely not using any sumo wrestling techniques whatsoever, despite that being literally the only way they can win. It's possible this may be some kind of matter of honor between the two wrestlers.
That sounds pretty racist, Tom.
No, and we've passed the 39-second mark, the point in which Vega scored his first suplex against Balrog in the first match, and there's still no sign of any grappling whatsoever. This is unbelievable, Tom. We're not even 1 minute into just the second match of the night, and I'm already bored out of my mind.
Well, actually, according to Japanese folklore,
A kappa, is that? We have a grapple! I can't believe it. It only took 2 minutes and 48 seconds for one of our two master wrestlers to actually wrestle. Fantastic. Let's look at this replay. We can see here Honda employing a bear hug and squeezing the other Honda, but it seems to have done the trick. Other Honda now has a small quantity of damage. Let's see what the other Honda has to say to that. Right, that's Yowie, but on the other hand there's Yuri. And Honda does it! Exacting revenge with a shoulder throw and a bear hug. How long did it take him to actually land a counterattack that worked, Tom? That's 2 minutes since the last attack, Tom, but we've still got a long way to go. Well folks, this has been going on for over 6 grueling minutes, and it's impossible to say when the fight will come to an end. Honda in Gray has a substantial lead, but it can easily go either way, and I don't know how comfortable I am with that. I have never seen a Street Fighter match like this in my more than 30 years of being a nerd. And it's over! Finally, it's over! After 6 minutes and 52 seconds of everything but sumo, Honda takes the win. Finally, we can move on to our next match, Sagat and Bison.
Sagat versus Bison, USA.
Right away, I would say Bison has the definite advantage here. Sagat's Muay Thai expertise makes him ill-suited in a contest that can only be won with grappling, whereas Bison appears very comfortable with throws. I'm just surprised that with both combatants being from Thailand, the organizers felt it appropriate to fly them all the way to the United States to compete inside a casino. I think it's best not to speculate on the unanswerable motives of whoever it is that runs this tournament. Surprisingly, Sagat succeeds in the first throw move of the match. Not that surprising considering that we just observed two sumo wrestlers take almost 7 minutes to sumo. True enough, Tom, but I'm told our SLVGB Sporting Odds Simulator still heavily favors Bison for this match, and Bison has already evened the score just 37 seconds in. This could be a fast fight. Well, we have to remember not to be too hasty, Tom. If tonight's event has taught us anything, it's that computers can be horribly, horribly wrong.
how much money did you bet on this fight, Tom?
That's funny, Tom.
You have a problem, Tom.
At 2 minutes 10, Bison has already gained back the ground he lost, and then some.
It's looking good for the leader of Shadowloo, Tom.
Well, there goes my kid's first pick of colleges.
You don't have kids.
Not at this rate.
What?
And surprising probably nobody,
Oh, come on!
Bison wins at 2 minutes 37 seconds. Our last matchup for the first bracket is our second Vega against Ken. We all know how this one's going to turn out. Yes, Ken's pretty much useless.
Vega versus Ken, Japan.
Well, let's get this over with. They're fighting in some sort of bathroom or something. It's a Japanese bathhouse, presumably imbued with some kind of black magic because the murals come to life and animate between matches.
Just like the movie Reanimator.
Not even remotely, Tom. You see, in Japan, a bathhouse has an important
Vega
cultural...
just won while you were talking about bathrooms.
Well, that figures.
Vega wins.
Before we move on to our next bracket, let's take a look at our losers bracket. Balrog handily defeated Honda in a 2-minute 47-second match, and Sagat actually lost to Ken in just 1 minute and 42 seconds. Stop betting on Sagat! Now let's move on to the semi-finals.
Vega versus Honda, Spain.
Here we are, folks. The Vega who won against Balrog now put at odds with the victorious Honda of the two Honda match to determine who will move on to the final round. It really highlights the absurdity of this match, seeing Vega stab a half-naked man in the gut with a steel claw to no effect. However, Vega clearly has the advantage here, considering Honda's strange reluctance to wrestle that we observed here earlier tonight. I have approximately the same amount of respect for the sport of sumo wrestling as I did when I came in, Tom.
How would you contrast that with your feelings about Spanish ninjutsu?
A lot. Vega's first suplex at 31 seconds in. Looks like he's off to a good start. And Honda with a bear hug. By far the most effective bear hug he's actually done tonight. Where was that during the two Honda match we saw earlier? I don't know, Tom, but now both Vega and Honda have returned to slashing and slapping at each other. And now they're not even attacking, they're just kind of jumping around, like Atomic Runner Cheldov. An impressive amount of nothing is what's happening right now, Tom. How do you even commentate on this? That's the second time I found a goat down there. And the finishing blow. At 1 minute 52 seconds, Vega wins, with Honda's singular bear hug being the only damage dealt to her champion. Vega is moving on to the final match. As for the other Vega, he's now in Thailand getting ready to fight against his leader, Bison.
Bison versus Vega, Thailand.
Bison definitely has home field advantage here, as this is his secret headquarters for his shadow criminal organization. You know, Tom, I just wonder how it's a secret headquarters if we're all here watching. There's even spectators. Maybe they're all agents of his? I don't know, Tom. Is the camera crew safe down there? I also wonder why his secret headquarters would be a famous landmark. It's the last place you would ever expect. Sure, Tom. Vega's first suplex at 24 seconds in. And while these two extremely vertical opponents are leaping around, not hitting each other, let's check with our sponsor. We're not doing mid-roll ads, are we? And we're back, with Vega in a substantial lead, but still playing somewhat defensively. Bison executes a Psycho Crusher that knocks Vega's claw off, but still doing no damage whatsoever. This is so bizarre. I'm learning things about this game's code I'm not sure I want to know, Tom. That's a weird thing to be afraid of, and yet I share in this terror. And at 1 minute and 31 seconds, Vega wins a perfect round. His claw has been broken clean off of his hand, but still perfect, somehow. Before moving on to the last fight, let's bring everyone up to speed on what's been happening in the secondary brackets. Honda defeated Bison in just 2 minutes and 10 seconds. A sharp contrast to the battle between Balrog and Ken, which went on for an excruciating 12 minutes and 24 seconds, with Ken finally emerging victorious. And finally, the other Honda edges out Sagat in 4 minutes and 59 seconds, making Sagat dead last place. And now, on to the final fight. No pun intended, Tom.
None taken, Tom.
It's Vega versus Vega. What?
Vega versus Vega, Brazil.
Both Vegas looking really pumped for what is sure to be an epic battle. Look at these two Spanish ninjas jump around. Isn't it okay to call them that? Vega executing a sliding kick, and Vega countering with his own sliding kick. And here they both go at it again and again. What's going on here, Tom? It seems both Vegas had the idea that the perfect counter to a sliding kick is yet another sliding kick. And seeing that sliding kicks won't damage the other player, they are in a deadlock. It's a Spanish slide-off here at Stupidly Long Video Game Battles. Are either of these competitors going to try anything else? Is there any hope of anywhere in Vega's programming that might make him try something other than a sliding kick? It doesn't look like it, Tom. We can only hope some random factor eventually intervenes that might cause a difference in outcome. Anytime now. I just don't think Spanish ninjutsu is a thing. Well, it's been 8 hours and both warriors are still going strong. We've spoken to the judges, and as it's been pointed out, both players' scores aren't even close to the maximum possible score, suggesting that this game was designed for matches to quite possibly go on for this long. So the unanimous decision is to keep playing. Such an unprecedented ruling. This is Street Fighter history in the making. I have never heard of a single match being allowed to run this long. And neither of our two combatants has tired in the slightest. What a testament to how fit and how determined these two warriors are.
That's right, Tom. That's all I've got.
That's all I can say. You are not wrong. Well, it's been a long journey, and I miss my family, but finally, after a long war of attrition, both Vega's scores are about to be maxed out.
Our judges are once again deliberating putting a stop to the match because at this point, the battle is definitely not going to end.
Absolutely nothing has changed since just 24 seconds into this battle that began yesterday.
And we have
Yes!
that score!
Yes! After 20 hours, 8 minutes, and 39 seconds, both Vegas have the maximum possible score of 9,999,999. And they're still going! Holy cow, Pat, that's right, Tom. Now what? Well, it's official. The judges are calling it. The Super Nintendo is being turned off. Both Vegas will share this victory. At 20 hours, 14 minutes, and 14 seconds, the final match is over. Good night, folks.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. And in case you were wondering if I actually really recorded more than 20 hours of Street Fighter, I absolutely did. In fact, you can click this link in the description to watch and see for yourself, but don't actually watch the full thing. I know I didn't.